You're listening to Author Conversations, the Stenhouse Publishers podcast. In the second part of our conversation at the IRA convention in Minneapolis, Lynn Dorfman and Rose Capelli discuss how their new book, Nonfiction Mentor Texts, invites new and veteran teachers to imagine a variety of possibilities for teaching nonfiction writing and conveys a clear picture of how lessons can work in the classroom. Rose speaks first.
I think one of the things that Nonfiction Mentor Text does, as does our other book, Mentor Text, is to give teachers that classroom snapshot. They can actually visualize how it would work in their classroom. We really kind of emphasize the gradual release of responsibility and showing how important it is to not only model but to do some shared work together before we let kids off on their own. So I think it really helps teachers that are new to this idea or new to the field to really see how it would work in their classrooms.
Absolutely, and the Your Turn lesson provides them with that step-by-step, but not a recipe, just a guide, a friendly guide to use. So a Your Turn lesson at the end of each chapter, we have several of them to choose from, is really not just for the kids, but it's for the teacher too. Right. So you can really experience the same struggles as the kids in your classroom. It makes you so much better when you have the chance to sit down on a one-to-one and have a conference with kids, when you see yourself as a writer too.
It's a great book to use as a study book with for professional development, because you can read a little bit of it, then you can go back in the classroom, try some things out, and come back to that study group and talk with your colleagues, reflect just like we ask kids to do. How did this work? What would I do different? So I think the setup really helps teachers in that regard.
And it gives teachers and children choice, so that we're moving away from just that idea of nonfiction writing has to be a very formal report writing that usually ends up being too broad. For example, I can remember a time when I would assign an animal to every child, or they would choose one, and then tell me in a report everything there is to know about that animal. What in fact they did was really plagiarize and write from one book, because first graders, third graders, fifth graders can't write a book. That's not their job in writing workshop. So we give them lots of opportunity to learn how to narrow a focus and write in different voices, do things like interviews. One chapter talks about real-world possibilities and really provides teachers, new and veteran teachers, with choices for their classrooms. That's what it's about, imagining the possibilities. And we think both our books are geared to doing just that.
Nonfiction Mentor Texts, Teaching Informational Writing Through Children's Literature, K-8, by Lynn Dorfman and Rose Capelli, is available now online at www.stenhouse.com and your local distributor. Thanks for listening.